crf250l. It's a 2016 model. It's got 8,400 miles on it. Okay, and this is the one I bought last year. It had 5,000 miles on it, so I put 3,000 miles on it. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I want to tell you my take on the difference between the 300L and the crf250. Okay. Now, I love my crf300l. Okay, it's a great bike. Love it. It's a great bike. And the crf250l. Now I'm going to tell you what I like about both of them. I'll tell you what I don't like about both of them. Okay. And some people say, well, there's not a whole lot of difference. There is a difference. It's not noticeable unless you're looking for it. Okay. And this is the way this is just my own personal observation. Okay. Now, I'm going to get right down to brass tacks and call a spade a spade. As far as rideability and just general smoothness all the way around, the crf250l wins, hands down. And you're going, well, why do you say that? Well, it's like part of the lag, and people don't realize this, and I could be full of crap, but this is just my opinion. This thing here does not have the slipper clutch, okay? It does not have a slipper. It has a regular clutch. It gives you a positive feel all the way through the gears, upshifting and downshifting and all that. And for me, I like that. The 300L has the slipper clutch, okay? If the slipper clutch ever goes bad on the 300L, I will change it to a standard clutch. Hell yes, because the slipper clutch is all right, but it's, now, I got to explain. I'm an old school bike rider, okay? So maybe that's what my problem is. Maybe it's because I'm too old school. But like I said, as far as rideability goes, the crf250l beats the 300L 10-1, hands down. Just like in the subtlety department. The clutch is one thing. It has no throttle lag. It has a closer set of gears than the 300L. And they ride the same, and actually the 250, I think, handles a little better. That's just my opinion. Now, I'm not bashing the 300L. I love my 300L, okay? And I'm glad I got it. But, like I said, I think between the slipper clutch and the way they've got things set up, I think that's where you get a lot of your lag. And I'm going to blame that slipper clutch, because what it is, whenever you downshift, instead of getting that hard pull down like you do on a regular bike, it kind of lets almost freewheel. It still will slow it down, but it kind of lets it freewheel, so you don't get that sudden if you know what I'm saying. And that's the big deal with the slipper clutch. Well, I also think, depending on how they make it, how they put it together, if that is like the one-way clutches that used to be on one of the machines I used to work on, it was like a star in there with curved teeth on them, and you had like round rod bearings, okay? And when you was driving, the bearings would actually slide out and make it grab. But when you was coasting, it would let them fall in and it would coast. I'm just assuming that's how it works. I don't know, so don't quote me on that. But that's the way a slipper clutch kind of works. And I'm here to tell you, I'm not bashing my 300L. I love my 300L. It's a great bike. It's easy to ride. It's a good bike, and just for just about everything. But I don't like slipper clutch. Okay, that's my opinion. The 250, like I said, as far as the gear ratio goes, it's closer. It's tighter, and I don't have the lag on it. And to me, this bike it handles so much better, so much easier than the 300L. Okay. Now, here again, and I've got to stress this, for the way I ride this 250L, it is perfect. It is great. It's the best machine out there, bar none, okay? But for the way I ride the 300L, what I do with the 300L, it's a perfect bike. It's the best bike there is, bar none. Okay, it just depends on how and where you're going to ride, how you are, what your mood is when you're riding. This one here I'm going to use as my new dirt bike because it does a fantastic job. Like I said, the gear ratio on it is a little tighter than it is on 300L. 300L is more for a road bike, and it works good. Yes, you can take it off-road. It's great. The first gear, second gear is great. But the sixth gear, it's higher. Now, as far as, and I've heard a lot of people, they talk about, boy, we're glad it's got that gear indicator on it. You don't need that. I mean, you don't need that. I can give shit what it's got on it or not. You don't need that. But that's just my opinion. So, like I said, and this one here does not have no throttle lag. Absolutely none. So as far as I'm concerned, instead of Honda improving when they went to the 300L, they lost something. That's just my opinion. But anyway, like I said, I'm not bashing my 300L. I love my 300L. I've got almost 1,000 miles on it. I just ride it everywhere. It's a great bike. For what I'm using it for, it's perfect. My 250 here, for what I'm using it for, it's perfect. But there is some differences, like I said. So it's kind of, you got to have both of them and ride them back to back to really feel the difference, to really know the difference. Okay. So, but anyway, that's kind of what I thought about the crf250l, which I said for what I'm doing now, the way I'm riding now, it's perfect. It's a great bike. My 300 do the same thing, but my 300 is if I'm more or less want to take a longer distance, ride, and because it, like I said, does have a higher sixth gear in it. I mean, they're both great bikes, but some of the little subtleties, the difference between the subtleties between the 300L and the 250L, I prefer the 250L. Okay, just on, like I said, on just the little things, little muck nicks things that really don't make any difference, but I feel them. I can tell the difference. And everybody always talks about, well, the 300L has such a light clutch pull. That's great, but if you get used to the 300L's clutch pull and then all of a sudden you get on another bike, guess what? You're going, well, what the hell's going on? Because it's too light as far as I'm concerned. But that's just me. Like I said, I'm old school. And but anyway, that's kind of my take between the difference between a crf250l and the crf300l. Just depending on what I'm doing is which one I prefer. Like I said, this 250, if I go back to West Virginia, I'm taking this 250. It's great. I love it. It's just, like I said, to me it handles a little bit different than the 300, and it's just small subtle things. It's things that you have to be looking for to notice. And every one of my bikes all have differences. They might all be dual sports, but they all have subtle differences. And so I look at everything, and I try to feel everything, experience everything, and know what's going on. Am I an expert? Hell no, I ain't no expert. I ain't expert in nothing. But I know what I'm looking for, and I know what I expect. So, and that's what you got to do. Got to know what you're looking for and what you expect, and get the bike accordingly to what you're looking for. Okay. There's no such thing as a unicorn bike. There's some things really close, but there's no such thing. Then, okay, just give you an example. Unicorn bike. If I'm going to West Virginia, going to ride dirt, there's a unicorn bike. If I'm going to be riding back roads and just trails and not doing a whole lot of dirt, but we'll make some time, 300L is a unicorn bike. If I want to get on the highway there and run 70, 75 mile an hour, the Tenere is the unicorn bike. It just depends on what you're doing, okay? So, and with that being said, think about what you want, go out, look and sit and feel, but do not go on what somebody else said, because everybody is only recommending their opinion. And what I'm trying to do is get you to look at what you want, and don't be going on somebody else's opinion, okay? Get what you want for the way you're going to ride, get what's going to suit your means, not theirs. Well, I guess that's kind of enough of that. So I'll get off here and quit my belly aching. Hey, ride safe, ride free.